Hello again. I'm finding it difficult to make Revit videos in 5 minutes or less. I don't know if it's just because of the complexity of the software, or maybe I just don't know how to talk about it in a fast way, but um, these will be 10 minutes. I'm going to do my very best to tackle one topic in 10 minutes and less. Or less. It's not intended to be a complete compendium of everything that's possible with that particular tool. It's just to introduce you to that tool, different ways of manipulating that tool, different ways of manipulating that tool, and then to get you somewhat competent or comfortable is maybe a better word in the software, so that you can explore without running into too many traps. So first thing I want to show you is the wall tool. And the very first thing you should notice is there is a drop down below it. And so when you click wall, you can make 3 different kinds of walls. You can do an architectural, you can do a structural, wall by face, and I'll present in a video later to what that means. But the beautiful thing, one of the many beautiful things about Revit, I'm a fanboy, just FYI. So Autodesk, if you're listening, Autodesk is not paying me to do these videos. I'm really doing these for my students and my colleagues and anyone else who needs help. But Autodesk, I would love some support if you throw it my way. But anyway, I love this software, and the wall by face is probably one of my favorite features. When we get to the masking tool, I'll show you what that means. There's a couple other options, wall sweeps and reveals, and I will show you them in a different video. But when you hover over a tool, it shows you more or less what that tool is. And if you hit F1, it'll explain more about how to use that tool. So if ever you get stuck, or if I don't go into enough detail for you, just go ahead and hover over a tool and hit F1, and it's actually really very good. So anyway, we're gonna select walls, and notice that when I selected wall, look at the ribbon now. When I select wall, my choices change to a creation and modify and a different tool set, right? The other thing I told you in a previous video is that these are intelligent objects. So I can make a generic wall if I don't know what it is at the time of design, or if I think I know what it is, I can choose that wall type. So here again, here's the partitions we described before as 4 7/8. There's soffits, there's curtain walls, which I'll explain, stacked walls, which are kind of pretty complicated, but I'll show you those too. But for today's demonstration, I'm just going to do a simple brick on metal stud, actually a brick on metal stud. Okay, now I am of the belief that your walls should not be unconnected. They should be connected to levels or floor levels. And I'll explain why that is in a second. But so under the place wall command, I haven't drawn anything yet, right? I'm going to choose the height of this wall to be level 2. And notice it changed from actually unconnected 20 feet to 10 feet unconnected height. It's actually connected, it's not connected. The center line is the origin point at which you click and drag, right? And so if I click once, notice that it's drawing or it's modeling the wall behind, as if the point to which I started the wall was the center line. If I really wanted that to be exterior, so I know the dimensions of the thing I want to be, I'm going to choose the exterior, so that when I turn 90 degrees, I'm not having to do math in my head. I know what the overall dimensions of this thing are going to be, and then I know it's accurate to that dimension, right? This is the other way you can do this, is just draw it and edit those dimensions later by clicking these toggles and put in the number that you want it to be. I gotta stop using numbers like that. Let me come back to OBS. There we go. All right, so I have OBS as the software I use for these videos, and I set up hotkeys in OBS as the same thing as my keypad. So I got to change that because that was poor planning on my part. But anyway, so I have this wall set up. You saw me draw it. And there's a couple of different ways to draw walls, right? So click on wall again. I was just drawing them using lines. You can also draw geometry, so a rectangle. I'm going to zoom out and just make a rectangle. And whenever you see this line in blue, that's a hyperlink, or not a hyperlink, but it's an editable element. I can check on it before I even stop drawing it and type in a number that makes sense. Oh, I did it again. Sorry, I keep doing that. I'm gonna have to change those hotkeys, or at least the way I use Revit. I can also draw with inscribed polygons. I can draw with inscribed polygons. Sorry, circumscribed. Circles, radii, fillets, center end arcs, etc. But two of my favorites are this guy, pick lines, and pick faces. Pick faces is again similar to the massing tool. Not similar to it, is the massing tool. That's how we use it. But pick lines is if you were to reference or you were to import a CAD file, and I'm just real quickly going to draw some line work that might be like a CAD file line work, right? So let's say this was a floor plan or something. My client gave me a drawing like that, and it was a vector drawing, so it was like a CAD file. I can import that CAD file and I can choose my walls based on those lines. So again, I'm going to use finish face, hover over that line, and click. And so in this way, I can very quickly model the architecture without drawing or any geometries. I just choose the pick line tool. So I find that very, very helpful. There's a bunch of editing tools that I want to go into. There is an align tool, so I find super fascinating. If I want to align this edge, with that one, I pick the edge I want to align to first, then I select, and then I've moved it. So that's a very, very helpful tool. There is an offset tool. I give it a specific dimension, let's say 1 foot. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta change the ob settings. Okay, so I changed, let's say the offset to be 1 foot. I'm going to select, actually I'm going to make that 5 feet. Okay, so 5 feet, and then it offsets 5 feet. I can do mirror along a specific axis. So let's see, if I wanted to take this wall and mirror it along the center axis of this wall, it puts one exactly that distance away, which is super helpful. There's split and split with gap. Move, copy, rotate, trim, extend. I love this one. So I want this wall to be contained now. So I use the trim, extend, select the first wall, select the wall I want to extend it to. It even predicts what's going to happen, right? If I were to do that way, go there. So predict, boom, trim, extend. Very, very helpful. This trim, extend, single element. Let's say I wanted this wall to go up here. I want a place I want it to go first. Select the element I want to extend to. Bing, super helpful. And then this last one is actually really, really cool too. I'm going to offset this wall 5 feet. I'm going to choose this trim, extend multiple. Click the point I want it to go to, drag across, and it extends all 3 at once. So the modify tools are extremely useful. I would not sleep on them at all. But that's really it. Yeah, I want to keep this under 9 minutes. So the wall tools are very, very handy. Oh, P.S. by the way, these are all 3-dimensional things, right? We weren't just drawing, 2D. These are 3-dimensional things. So they are walls. And if you zoom in, you'll see this at the, medium level. If we go to the fine level, it should look very similar. But if you go to the realistic, it should look like brick. And on the inside, because we have it set up to be brick on the outside and gyp on the inside, that's what it looks like. You can manipulate these walls in any view. You do not have to be in plan view, which is also a really nice feature. So I'm going to do that trim and extend again using that wall. And again, actually, nope, that one's already connected. So I can also use the align tool in 3 dimensions. So I want to align this surface with that one. So I click that surface first, click this one, and now they're aligned. I can also lock them. So if I move this one down, it'll take the other one with it. I hope that was of benefit and you all found value in this exercise. Again, it's intended to be not a compendium of how to use Revit, but an introduction. And so in this way, I've shown you just a little bit about walls, how to create them, some editing tools. And again, I will show you more about walls when we get to the massing tool. But hopefully that was good for you. If it was, please like and subscribe. And again, share with your folks on your channels or your social media. I would appreciate all the help you can get. Take care.